All right, we're starting 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Joe Rogan podcast. Oh no! Well, what's up, guys? This is the next episode of the Jobbers and Goons podcast, or the Dr. Goons show, whatever you want to call it. And when I say we, me and GB, go ahead and say what's up.
Damn, Billie Eilish is a bad bitch.
Yeah, regardless of your stance on Billie, my boy GB is going to be here with us. We are going to get it rolling with a bunch of topics that pretty much me and GB went back and forth on in terms of bringing on for the podcast. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. If you guys want to hear us discuss other things besides what we got on the table, go ahead and donate either to YouTube or the Cashapp link that I left on the stream. So, with that in mind, let me go ahead and I'm going to link this to everyone in my server. And then we're going to get going with the, as people start to pour in. The first one, I'm going to let GB lead off on this one because he's the one that brought it up. Worst writers in comic book history all time. Get into it.
Oh, that's who wrote Thor recently?
Donny Cates?
Yeah, Donny Cates takes the cake casually in his sleep. In his sleep, he takes that.
His can you elaborate for the streets?
The Great Darkness was one of the worst stories. Not the Great Darkness. Well, I guess it was the Dark Winter. It was a bootleg Great Darkness. The Black Winter, Dark Winter, whatever you want to call it. That story was garbage, straight up. Galactus ate a few planets that would put him at a power he's never been at before, and he would never need to eat anymore. These planets have apparently always existed, and whatever. I think it was Silver Surfer hid these planets' existence from Galactus. Whatever, it was dumb. Thor at one point he's supposed to fight a multiversal threat, and then one of the planets is gonna blow up because Galactus is eating it. Thor thinks he's gonna die. It doesn't make sense. You're literally a god. Why do you think you're gonna die from a planet exploding? So stupid. You're not Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Damn, Dragon Ball fans mad. So it and then at the end, Galactus still gets no diffed, and then Thor one shots the darkness or the Black Winter, and it's just what was the point of Galactus being here this entire story if Thor could have just one shot it regardless? He no diffs it. This crazy threat. The fight was trash. The cosmology, what they did with the cosmology didn't make sense. And then you had the King in Black arc. The King in Black arc is terrible, terrible. You have Thor fusing, or Thor's Mjolnir getting fused with the Captain Universe power, and it becomes some shining axe, and it hits Null, and it's just dumb. The arc sucks so bad. Is Sentry getting ripped apart? The Void was part of. The Void was part of Null, and the scaling just didn't make sense. Donnie will take a character he likes and he'll do anything to make that character seem cool or strong, even if it doesn't make sense. And that's my issue with Donnie Cates. Those two stories to me suck. Null's a cool character. Character design is cool, but the stories itself, they sucked.
Okay, so your shout out is Donny Cates. Understandable. If I had to, man, who is so there? I don't know who wrote it, so this won't count. But there is just this run that was so bad with Winter Soldier that I know, like, it's top 5 one of the worst things I've ever read in comics, for sure. I too have my issues with Kate's. I will say sometimes Bendis stories, they're actually like pretty hit or miss for me. He kind of takes some Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah, Bendis dick.
I'm sick. We have a child among us. But sometimes his stories, like for as popular as he is, his stories kind of fall apart sometimes. Oh, I think Grant Morrison in a lot of ways is really overrated. Like Grant, fucking Final Crisis or whatever, that shit was ass. That shit was legit a tough read.
Chill.
It was not good, bro. That shit was not good.
Chill, that shit was heat. Chill.
No, it really was not.
Oh, Stephen King.
Sick.
You know he had to come up.
Shout out to Pimp Demon and Got Any Grapes for the donations. Shout out to all the homies tuning in from the server, like Griffo. So first one.
Who watches Doctor Who? Who is he?
Stop trying to have bars. We have the master from Doctor. Oh wait, fuck yeah, that might. If it's, I think he's a goon. I think. Might be wrong. I don't know. I have thought about getting into Doctor Who from time to time. Just hadn't made that jump. Mostly because it only gets asked about like once every 6 months. Yeah. Shout out to Grapes for entering the chat. That's all he had for the donation. I respect it. Now, do you have any other writers you want to call out?
Aside from Stephen King, George R.R. Martin, especially for his writing in Elden Ring, where every boss is the same name over and over again. Dog shit.
This man.
Other than that, nah. So Donny Cates. My boy said J.K. Rowling. This dude's speaking facts.
Whoa.
Hey, but Hogwarts Legacy disagrees. But anyway, she didn't have nothing to do with that game though, which is why it was so goated. Yeah. So Donny Cates, Stephen King, George R.R. Martin. To me, those dudes are overrated, and like their writing is like borderline abysmal.
So Grapes donated again to shout out your Bendis joke. He appreciated it. Shout out to that. Who's the chat's worst writers? Like, who do y'all think are bad? Oh, we have someone said Frank Miller. Oh, that's kind of spicy. Oh, Daredevil fans, fight back. Daredevil fans, shoot back.
Daredevil is garbage. I'm not gonna lie. Somebody said, "Yo, JB, what's your take on the Elder Scrolls games themselves?"
Yo, who wrote Civil War 2? Who wrote Civil War 2? That shit was ass. Was that Bendis?
Who?
Look it up. Who wrote Civil War 2 in Marvel? With Iron Man versus Captain Marvel.
That was probably Stephen King, to be honest.
We can't attribute every cent of writing to Stephen King as much as we want.
All right.
Let me look it up.
I got it.
All right. GB will be our looker-upper. It was Bendis? It was Bendis! He's ass!
You're tripping. This Civil War 2 was when Miles beat up Cap and killed him. Nah, Civil War 2 is he.
Stop.
Civil War 2 is he hit him. Boy, beat the shit out of. Nah, but the Elder Scrolls games are alright. I mean, I don't really mess with them. Like, I don't really play them. The Cosmology is pretty dope. But I don't really play the games. I just hear like people debate the cosmology, which is okay.
Someone said Toriyama.
Oh no, Tori. I mean, look, like Dragon Ball sucks. Like, I mean, Dragon Ball is like if you have like a child's attention span and you just like watching like things explode. I mean, at that point, Michael Bay's your hero. So
Didn't think we'd get the Michael Bay shout out.
Toriyama.
Here we are.
Michael Bay over Toriyama. Ooh.
Michael Bay over Toriyama's wild. Goku fans, come together. Holy shit.
I'm sorry, who had Linkin Park as their theme song for their movie?
All right, valid. And with that segue, we're going to go into the next topic, which is, this is kind of a funny one. Comics or stories that looked absolutely fire. And on the other side, comics or stories that looked absolutely trash that ended up heat. I'll go first. When I started reading Classic Fantastic Four, that shit looked ass. It looked horrible. But then Big Graham, I found out, was a goblin. Absolute super gremlin. So I would say that was one that ended up heat. For ones that looked like it'd be goated, but it ended up shit, there was that Winter Soldier one where he was supposed to be this like intergalactic assassin or something, like Hitman. The art cover looked amazing. I was like, oh shit, this might be fire. And then I went to read it and I could barely get like 5 pages in. It was fucking horrible. Those are my two stories that come to mind immediately. What about you?
For things that looked bad and ended up being good, Hickman's Ultimates run with Maker, who is on the thumbnail. And for things that look good and ended up being garbage, quite literally anything from Donny Cates or Stephen King. Just to throw it back to the first topic.
I will say that Dark Crisis. How do you feel about Dark Crisis?
What, the recent DC event?
Yeah.
That shit was heat.
I know, but did you think it looked heat going in, or did you think it looked ass going in? Just curious.
No, that shit looked heat with Dark. How do you like Darkseid pulled up and killed the Quintessence off rip? You knew that shit was gonna be heat. DC cooked. They cooked the Quintessence, but they cooked.
I'm not gonna lie, when the first Punisher dropped, I was like, I'm not sure if they're gonna do this right, but then they did that shit beautifully.
Bro, look, I can tell, look. Tell me you're a Superman hater without telling me you're a Superman hater. Look at Spartan. Dark Crisis was kind of ass. Superman hater spotted. Superman hater spotted.
It's alright to be a Superman hater.
Here comes Genius on his burner. Most Crisis events are ass. Here comes Genius on his burner. Crazy.
Most, I'll say Final Crisis was ass. That's the one I said was just like ass. That doesn't necessarily equate to like every Crisis event ever being ass. Although Convergence disagrees.
Superman's an Altair. Superman would beat the shit out of Altair.
I'm sick. With that blasphemy stated, we're going to shift over to the next topic. This topic being best, and this is actually shouted out by, well, this is the one suggested by GB, so I'll kind of let him lead on with it, but best characters not under Marvel or DC.
Best characters not under Marvel or DC.
Like best comics.
There's a few of them. But since I'm reading him right now, Spawn. Spawn's up there. Blue Sky says Invincible. True.
I gotta shout out Hellboy.
What?
Yeah, Hellboy's for sure one of the best.
Bro, people really acting like Altair beats Superman over her fictional transcendence like Superman doesn't do that every other week. Stop. Superman literally scales above Bugs Bunny. Anyway. Damn, like, I can't, like, Luther Strode was kind of dope. Luther
Strode was a pretty good run. It really was. Captain Planet, hello? Fire?
Conan the Barbarian is heat. Don't care. Conan's heat.
Yeah, the well, you mean like the classic shit.
Yeah, just anything written by Robert E. Howard, honestly, heat. Oh yeah, Altair puts Superman on a t-shirt. Yeah, let me know when the next season of Altair comes out. Could Superman Prime beat... Yeah, of course. Garo. Oh yeah, I mean, but those are manga characters. Like, we're just talking about comic characters.
Best comic characters, not Marvel or DC. Another one I would shout out. Jackie Escanado, or however the hell you say it, The Darkness. That run's actually pretty sick. I actually enjoyed looking into that. I don't think I made a movie.
Yeah, but I think the Darkness comics are under DC though.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I think they are though.
I think they're Dark Horse.
Isn't Dark Horse a thing of DC, a property of DC?
I don't believe it's a DC thing. No.
Oh no.
Vertigo is.
Oh. Not Vertigo.
I'm trying to think of what other ones? The Utopian? He-Man and Lion-O? Facts! Nah, He-Man shit is gas. GB did a whole He-Man dive once, and that shit was fire.
Yeah, He-Man and Lion-O are heat. One of them's published by Marvel, though. One of them, no, He-Man's for sure published by DC.
Definitely had the crossover at one point. Pinhead? Yeah. No, facts. Pinhead comics were really crazy. Oh, chill, bro. Those horror comics are flames.
All those horror comics are fucking dog shit.
I'm sick. This might have to be a topic for another day. Ninja Turtles? Are Ninja Turtles Marvel or DC? They fucking cross over with Batman a lot, but I don't know if they're independent.
Ninja Turtles? I don't know. I feel like they get published by DC a lot, and the Power Rangers are also published by DC a lot too. So I don't know.
Oh, Transformers, IDW.
Hey yo, oh yeah. Transformers are. I don't read those comics personally, but they're pretty good.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun reading about the fucking Death God that people compare to Galactus. What's his fucking name? Unicron. Shit like that's dope.
Injustice Superman versus Gladiator by Zorro and Luffy. Gladiator shit stomps horribly. Injustice Superman doesn't even scale to John, who's like, how old is John in comics now? He has to be like 18 or something, I think. 16 or 18, I don't know. It doesn't even scale to like John, so Gladiator should bolo.
At peak, yeah, Gladiator probably gets him. Alright, next podcast.
Archie Sonic, calm down. Somebody, look at it. Injustice Superman one-shot Ultraman. Yeah, after Ultraman battled John, who went Super Saiyan, who's stronger than Injustice Superman. Context, people, context. This is worse than the Altair scaling. Like, oh my god, she scales above the writers. Who cares? Who doesn't? Everybody in comics does. Gwenpool does. You gotta stick to the context, boys.
Next up, we have an actual topic I think is pretty fun, which is villains and heroes, but they swap roles. Essentially, they fit into a new role as the opposite of whatever they are typically portrayed as. First one, I want to get GB's opinion on. Actually, GB, here's all 4. I want to get your opinions on them, and then I'll go in on all 4, okay? In comment section, get the chatting about each of these switches. All right. So, GB, after you talk about them, I'd also be interested in you, like, ranking them as well, in terms of, like, what you rock with the hardest, in terms of if they were to switch. So, we have Penguin, Nightcrawler, Martian Manhunter, Ultron. Go.
If they were to switch with who?
If they were to become, like, for example, if Penguin were to become a good guy, how do you see that going? Would it be stronger? Would it be better? Yes, I just talk about, like, how you think it goes. That's what I mean.
You think anybody gives a fuck? You think anybody gives a fuck about Penguin's fat midget ass pulling up trying to stop crime? They're gonna kick his fat ass in the gut. You said Nightwing becomes a villain. That's basically Red Hood. I'm not even gonna cap.
I didn't say Nightwing. I said Nightcrawler.
Oh, Nightcrawler. If he became bad, that's his dad. So like, I mean, we kind of like already see what would happen in Sins of Sinister if Nightwing became bad. He would kind of become a problem. Like he's low-key just teleporting and stabbing people in the neck. And then you said Ultron.
Yeah, Ultron.
I mean, Ultron is good. Like, change my mind.
Relax.
Ultron is a hero.
Relax.
Blah, 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 blah.
Last one was Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter. Okay, no, but let me give you a real answer on Ultron. Ultron becoming a hero. We already know that Ultron as a hero doesn't even scale to Galactus from like the original Secret Wars. So he ain't getting shit done today. Like that's just a big fact. Current Ultron from Savage Avengers, what is that, 2099 Ultron? That Ultron's really dope. That Ultron's really strong. He could probably run through a lot of villains. So okay. And then we got Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter, we already seen what he was when he was Furnace or something. Man barely scales to Plastic Man. And here come the Plastic Man fans, the 5 Plastic Man fans in the chat. Oh my god, Plastic Man's raw. Don't care. Plastic Man is a jobber. I'm gonna say if I had to order them, Penguin is definitely at the bottom. Nightwing would be after Penguin, like in the 3rd spot. And 1 and 2, I'm gonna say Ultron would probably be the strongest. And Furnace is too easy to shut down. Like Martian Manhunter is too easy to. Martian Manhunter can't even read certain people's minds without having a heart attack. So it's Martian Manhunter sucks. I would say like Martian Manhunter, but he still outscales the other 2, like outstaffs them. So I'd say Martian Manhunter goes 2, and then Ultron number 1. But Ultron's him though.
Okay. I got you. I would say for me, Penguin makes a massive play. I think he would be a beast. I'm just fucking with you. Penguin, like the only value he'd probably bring as a superhero is like he knows connections in the streets. He knows plugs. He knows what certain moves will be made. But besides that, he's not that effective. And with him really being a knot for the bad guys now, he probably gets cooked. Nightcrawler, I agree. He'd be a lot more formidable. I remember there was X-Force, Uncanny X-Force. I think it was by Fraction. And there was an alternate Nightcrawler that was actually like about that life. And he was pretty formidable. So that's one of those instances where I think he would actually be more dangerous if he were to swap roles. Martian Manhunter, I actually think he'd be a little more formidable than just Furnace, because Furnace was kind of like a just loose beast. Not really as sophisticated of a combatant as like Martian Manhunter would be. So I'd like to think if he actually was just evil or whatever, had bad intentions, he could probably be bigger than that. So he does have decent potential, in my opinion. And then for the final one, I believe it was, let me double check, Ultron. I do think Ultron being cool wouldn't be as effective as his most evil versions. He does have some potential, but again, like when he's up to his player hating shit, that's like when he's at his best. So I think the one that actually benefits the most from the role change probably would be Nightcrawler. Next is a battle. I'm gonna have GB address first because curious to see what he has to say. That is Ralph versus Butters. Go ahead.
Honestly, like I really just I don't know. Like when I thought of this battle, it was kind of funny because like they're both the dumb kids from their verse. But Butters be kind of cooking on the low. Like Butters be kind of Doctor Dooming it on the low. Ralph is a tank though. Like Ralph just be doing shit. Like and Ralph has OD Toon Force. Like I don't know if y'all remember this. If anybody in here has watched The Simpsons, but Ralph be like randomly in the background of scenes, just drawing doors on walls and opening them and shit. So like I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Like I feel like I wanted to choose Butters because of the prep time. Like he does have a lot of tech in his room, but Butters to me with that Toon Force might just pull off the dub.
I will fully admit I'm not as familiar with Roger's feats. I would say Butters does have some Toon Force. Like we know he was Ground Zero when Cartman was fucking with Cthulhu. He's also battled characters like that before, especially in the video games. But if Ralph's like consistently got like better or more OD Toon Force or whatnot, I'd probably favor him as well. Chat, what do y'all think of that? Who do y'all think takes it?
I don't know how real this chat is, like, because a lot of these kids, they might not even be old enough to watch South Park. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
and they might not be old enough to know who the hell Ralph is on The Simpsons, to be honest, but it's pretty tough. Ralph is just one of those sleeper characters on The Simpsons. Like, he just does weird shit.
All right, next one we got is pretty, especially if you're a fan of them, interesting one. What if Kingpin took up residence in Gotham? So, I think the first way to go about this is you gotta see who would be the biggest threats to him on the criminal side first. Who's he gotta go through, potentially liaison with, share the scene with, knock off the scene. We gotta think about that. So, I think he clears Penguin pretty comfortably.
Controversial. Continue.
You're
talking about hand to hand, right?
Yes.
Controversial. Continue.
All right. I think he could contend. After wiping Penguin, probably takes his shit. I don't think Two-Face fares much better. I think he could take Two-Face as well. Take all his shit. Catwoman probably puts up a better fight than the other two. But if she doesn't fall in line with what Kingpin's got going down.
Penguin? Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah, I almost fucked that
The
up. My
Patora
fault.
fusion.
My fault. That'd be one hell of a fusion. Like a 5 foot
It's a
tall
big
Mack
ass.
truck.
That's a big ass umbrella. I'm not gonna lie.
That umbrella could knock out Thor if you just let it go full power. But I think he takes out Two-Face, Catwoman. Catwoman probably teams up with him, hangs out with him. Because he's gonna have bands at that point. We know he likes to dabble in things like the magic side, based on Devil's Reign. So it's potential he'd start trying to tap into that with any connections throughout Gotham. Bane's one of the bigger problems because him being problematic. So someone might try to hire. You think Bane beats Kingpin's ass?
Yeah. Nah, but I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish.
I think.
But you got to factor in the visitors too. Like what about Roz?
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is, and I guess we'll just collab on the topic at this point. So like what I'm saying is, let's say he comes. First ones he's gonna take out. Technically, first people he's probably gonna take out is the Falcone family. Take all their shit, all their goons. Probably the easiest to take out. I don't know if you'd agree with that, but I think that'd be possible. It'd either be someone like the Falcones, or it would be Two-Face or Penguin. Regardless, hitting at least one of them, and then in doing so, would proceed to go and either one of two things happens. He's gonna quickly acquire other lower level members of the Gotham scene, or they're gonna like hire big guns, or big guns will see the potential of Kingpin. I'm curious to see, what do you think would happen first?
If Kingpin went to Gotham, I think realistically the only threats to him would be Joker and Bane, probably, because Kingpin probably is too smart for. He's too smart for Penguin. He's too big for Penguin too. Like he'll just ragdoll him. Catwoman, I could see. I'm not gonna cap. Catwoman has so many funky combat feats. I could see her low key like beating the shit out of Kingpin, but writing wise, I don't think they do that. So I think Kingpin probably takes her out. I mean, I don't really think she's of consequence anyway. She doesn't really own any part of Gotham anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't know if he would care about Mr. Freeze. I don't think Mr. Freeze would care about him. Scarecrow gets low diffed. Who cares? Scarecrow sucks and gets beat up by little kids anyway. Yeah, I think it just comes down to like whether or not he interacts with Roz, and whether or not he interacts with like Joker or Bane, because I think that Bane would beat the shit out of him. Like Bane's just a bigger version of. Bane's almost like just a bigger version of Punisher. Like he doesn't run the tech that Punisher does, but in terms of like infiltrating and like gang war and like tactics and guerrilla warfare and shit, like Bane's just basically practically another version of Punisher. Man's fought off the Court of Owls before. When he was Batman, he literally ran through the entire city in like 2 nights or something like that. Like, and then you got to factor in the Bat family too. So like,
well, I was gonna bring that up next. Like, at what point does the incursion of Kingpin? I agree. By the way, shout out to Pimp Demon for the donation. I agree. Reaver from Fable is a goon. A lot of the characters from that game is a goon. But Kingpin, at what point does his infiltration of the city put him on notice with the good guys?
I think the moment he takes out, literally the moment he takes out Penguin, they're gonna start noticing something's wrong. I think that the moment he takes out any of the big crime guys in Gotham, Gordon's gonna like immediately start reporting to Batman that something's like going on, that there's like a shift in power. That always happens in the comics. There's always like somebody trying to come up, and Batman's already on to them. It's just that Batman usually lets criminals cook a little bit to see what they're doing, because he only cares about like the most dangerous ones. Really,
I
like
could
he's not out there stopping everything. So
I could genuinely see Batman making the mistake of treating Kingpin early on like a bigger Falcone. You know? And like, although he doesn't let Falcone get away with everything, Falcone still exists, if you feel what I'm saying.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it, but I don't think like I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I don't think that Kingpin fucks with Batman at all. Like, I don't think that Kingpin is the kind of person that would poke Batman too much. Like, it's one thing to deal with Peter Parker, and like Peter Parker's this kid, and like, you know, he's whatever. But we're talking about somebody who cripples people for jaywalking, practically. So I don't think you're going to like. I think the moment he sees how Batman operates and Batman gets dirty with it, like, he's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna stay away from this dude. Like, I'm not even gonna like poke in his areas too much." Because if you're a criminal, you stay away from Batman and what he does. And I'm not gonna cap, like, what does Kingpin really do besides like, he's not on some foul shit. Like, he's not like Joker. He's not like Falcone in a sense where Falcone's like doing crazy shit.
His biggest thing that gets people pissed or riles the streets up is he's extremely reactive. So like, if he's doing some hood shit and you fuck with him and his operation or his people, the response is going to be extreme.
Yeah, but like it's like the way I look at Kingpin is like he's always on like gang warfare type stuff. Like he's about his set and what he does, and then like he runs his organizations, and they do whatever. And he's like, but at the end of the day, he's a businessman. Whereas like most of Gotham are straight criminals.
True.
So it's like Kingpin understands the business aspect of things, and he goes about acquiring business in a criminal manner, but I don't think that at his heart, at his core, Kingpin really is a degenerate criminal. Whereas like Joker is a degenerate criminal. So like, I think if Kingpin saw how Batman be getting down, especially like on a bad day, he'd know to like leave Batman alone with some stuff, or like not poke Batman too much. But I feel like if Batman got wind of Kingpin and like Kingpin was on some gritty shit, like Batman will beat the shit out of Kingpin bad. I don't know. I think it would be way worse than what Punisher did to Kingpin. Like, that would be bad.
I think in the first interaction, if Batman's not careful, I think actually Kingpin could do some damage. But after that, like, the next time around and stuff like that, when they meet in battle, it's probably going to be Batman.
I think for sure, actually, like in my mind, I think Kingpin and Batman would work better as a duo, because I think Batman would realize that Kingpin as an operation is healthier for Gotham than, you know, these other criminals are. Because I think he'd just look at Kingpin as like Kingpin's weeding out a lot of people.
I get what you're saying. Like, he would look at it like Peter Parker just looks at Kingpin as like a bad dude. Because in like the early comics, Kingpin used to be like, dude, you're going out of your way to fuck with me. Like, sure, my operation isn't the most legal thing ever, but you don't really need to do anything to me. You just think I'm a bad guy, so you're popping out. Like, Batman might see it as if the lesser of two evils. I let him cook, it won't hurt as many innocent people.
Yeah, and like Funny Guy brought up another point that I was gonna get to is that Kingpin runs for mayor in like every comic line he's in. Like he runs for mayor like all the time. Like he really just cares about power. Like he doesn't really care about selling people. He doesn't care about like drugging people. He doesn't care about like, you know, creating mass hysteria like Joker and like causing chaos. He doesn't really care about that. He likes Kingpin likes control and order as much as the next. That's what his name is. He's the Kingpin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think he's like a criminal like that. I think the only thing him and Batman are gonna beef about is that Kingpin kills people.
Yeah.
And Kingpin is really quick to kill people, but that's when Alfred's gonna beat his ass. Let me stop.
I don't know about that one.
On him. Let's take the hound on him. Nah, Alfred takes that kryptonite pill. Kingpin gonna be in trouble. Like.
Yeah, you better take that pill though, because if he pulls up on Kingpin, he's like, "Stop messing with Master Bruce."
He gonna pull out that double barrel shotgun and shoot his ass.
And Kingpin's gonna swat it away, and he's gonna spin hook the fuck out of him.
He's gonna swat away to the astral plane.
Hey man, Kingpin's capable. You sleep. Kingpin might take Gotham.
Yeah, he gonna be sleep.
All right, final question on this topic: would he be more successful in Gotham than he is in Marvel's New York?
Nah, I don't think so because, first of all, Gotham's a dump. Straight up, Gotham is a dump. I don't even think Kingpin would want to be in Gotham if I'm keeping it a buck. Like, Gotham is a shithole. So, Marvel New York, outside of Hell's Kitchen, is nice. Like,
imagine he runs for mayor in Gotham, and they try to cancel him because he gets on record saying Gotham is a shithole. Oh no!
Yeah, like he definitely would. Like, I mean, it's just so like Gotham's so garbo. Like, it's just a dump. Everywhere you look at Gotham, literally looks like a Dark Souls like world. It's grim everywhere. It almost looks like there's never sunlight there. It's just depressing. People are dying around every corner. Got ready to go off, turn the corner, run into a random killer croc. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't think he would want to be there. So, and like, even if he was successful, if he took out everything, I don't think it would really amount to the success he could have in Marvel, because in Marvel, he would just... In Marvel New York is the epicenter of Marvel, right? You have the Fantastic Four, you have the Avengers, you have Doctor Strange, you have Daredevil, you have Spider-Man, and like with these characters come their rogue gallery. With their rogue gallery come items. With those items come resources. There's so much you can do in Marvel New York. Gotham is literally a shithole of fat midgets, a giant mutated crocodile, these random people that run around with owl masks, some Brock Lesnar luchador who has a fetish for breaking people's backs, some bitch that keeps stealing jewels dressed as a cat, and some dude that just beats up crime because his parents died a few years ago and he has like phobia now. Like that's what Gotham is. There's really nothing going on in Gotham outside of like just lunatics. It's just lunatics everywhere. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I think
I think Marvel's just better. Like, I think Marvel's New York is just better than Gotham in terms of like power and like status.
If he approached it the correct way, I believe potentially Kingpin could.
I think he'd cook in Metropolis, though.
Do you think Superman would prefer him over Lex?
Oh yeah, like I don't think Kingpin, like Lex is a racist, like actual. Lex is actually a racist. So like, I don't think like Kingpin would have give a fuck if like Superman was an alien or not. Like, dude sees Thor all the time and doesn't care. Like, I think he gives a shit about somebody being from another planet and like protecting the city. Like, he doesn't care about that. And there's not as much heavy crime. Like, so I think he would just literally, it would just be Kingpin versus Lex. Like, who do you think is better like? I think Lex is definitely league smarter than Kingpin, but like,
oh
just
my
because you're
God,
technologically more. No, hold on. Let me cook. Just because you're technologically more in tune, or like you're mathematically more intelligent than somebody like Kingpin. Kingpin is definitely much more, or more street smart than Lex is. So the issues that Kingpin could cause Lex versus the issues that Lex could cause Kingpin, they vary, but I feel like Kingpin poses just as much of a threat with his street smarts rather than like going head up.
And he would do foul shit like just blow up a restaurant. Lex isn't.
Yeah, but Lex just always has that suit on, so that wouldn't really go too well.
And that's
I hope he wouldn't do that, because Kingpin. That'll be a swift end for Kingpin.
Well, no, because Kingpin's gonna walk in and take his coat off and reveal he had cops and Kryptonian pills.
Nigga.
And you got that shit for the Lowski. And he beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, this is worse writing than Donny Cates.
Chill! Alright, with that in mind,
we're
gonna go to the next
Stephen
topic.
King type shit.
We're gonna go to the next topic, which is 1GB proposed. Which video games / what video games would be dope to see come out? I got one. I think it'd be super dope to get a Hogwarts Legacy of Lord of the Rings and that mythos.
I just want I want Marvel comic fighting games. Like, instead of Marvel vs. Capcom, like Marvel vs. Capcom's cool, like I love me some fighting games, but I don't want I really don't want Marvel vs. Capcom. Like, Marvel has enough characters to make their own fighting game, and they know what kind of fighting games people like. And let's get some X-Men in there. That's another issue too, that Marvel has like licensing issues across the board with their movies, with their games, with their comics. Like, they're a mess when it comes to licensing, but they somehow put it together better than DC, who has all their licenses and still can't put good shit out. So I don't know. I just want like a good Marvel fighting game, essentially. Ooh, Killzone would be heat, like a new Killzone. Oh my god, Killzone was so good.
I'd like a DC, like a fine-tuned, really nuanced, better version of something like DC Online. Conceptually, DC Online was sick, but if we could get like a DC Online, something like that just is way better, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And not only that, now that I've like gone through it, One Piece, if they gave us a fucking One Piece mythos game where like you can create your own crew, completely customize everything, go after your own devil fruit, stuff like that, unlock the different oh my god, it'd be amazing.
Like the second piece.
Yeah, or the half piece, just whatever. Regardless, it'd be like, maybe you could do it in the future, like take place in the future. Regardless, that oh my god, if they just did a very well made free roam game, that's also like you can grow your crew and shit like that. That'd be super dope. Imagine a
Yeah.
Kingdom game playing as Shin.
I It would be dope, but man, at this point, Kingdom is so drawn out. It's just like I can't take Kingdom anymore.
I get it, but that game would be fucking sick, especially if you had a multiplayer mode where you can pick like some of the different generals.
Yep.
That'd be sick.
I mean, there's a lot of games that you could put out there. Battlefield 3, or not Battlefield, but Battlefront 3 would be dope.
Agreed. Oh, hard agree. A well-made version. I think they should go balls to the wall with it though. I think they should make it like Disney has so much power they really could just say fuck it. At least on the gaming side, let's try out Legends shit again. And for next gen consoles, if they just make fucking this man said Superman vs. Togo. God, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Which verse? know. Oh yeah, Star Wars. Shit, it was fucking Star Wars. Yeah, if they just accept like
Oh yeah, Star Wars.
use all the legends and make like a next gen version of the old Republic games or something like that. Beautiful. Hey, Cosmic Gamer, better see you at the D&D tonight, my boy. Shout out to everyone that plays those. Join the Discord. We play games, do daily talks, talk about comics, anime, all that.
Zoro and Luffy says Superman versus the one below all. Superman claps casually. The one below all was literally sealed. Trash. Superman literally scales above the Omniverse of DC, so Superman claps.
Turn-based RPG of DC's death metal. 7:30 Cosmic. Star Wars D&D.
And also, I'm pretty sure like the one below all and the one above all are just the same thing. Just one's in a bad attitude, like one's in a bad mood. It was also stated that like the one above all wasn't even omniscient at one point or some shit. So I know people be like, that's not actually the one above all. Like they just like that's just people coping and shit. One above all sucks. He's always sucked. He's feetless, barely has any scaling. Same with the one below all. All he did was like take control of Hulk and kill Franklin Richards and whatever. Like who cares? Two characters that blow. Superman skills above anyway. This dude just swinging from Alter's fucking tits.
Are you still arguing about that? You've been doing that shit for the whole fucking podcast.
He just keeps bringing it up. I'm just like scrolling through the chat. Space Marines 2 is happening, so I'm satisfied. Yeah, that game should be good. I mean, I'm kind of over Warhammer. I read enough of Warhammer to be bored with it. So.
Got like reading. I'd call it reading fucked. There's just so many books and novels.
It's just like an oversaturation. It's like they just talk about like they just talk about like so much dumb shit in there. It's just like, all right, bro. And there's literally no end to it. It's just like that, like the universe of Warhammer is just designed to like continue forever. It's just like, all right, bro. Like there's no finale to this. It's the same shit every single day.
I can see that. Yeah. Any other games you want to mention before we move on? Like games you'd want to see?
Get Rich or Die Trying remastered.
A genuine online
Nah,
Saints Row based on the true like vintage Saints Row games, that'd be fire.
Hey, yo, hold up. Oh my God, I'm tripping. Def Jam? Oh my God, bring back Def Jam.
I can see that. Def Jam. Oh,
Jam
New York? Vendetta? Shit like that? Yeah,
like
fuck
any of
yeah.
those.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so next topic.
Yo, Splash, you're gonna have to drop a Superman video because these people are actually crazy with what they're saying in the chat. Like, it's actually wild.
It's crazy because I've been dropping Superman videos. Do you think Maker can be a legit hero? I want y'all to hear... GB, what do you think of the Maker?
I mean, Maker is a hero. Like, people just be hating. He literally grabbed the Infinity Gauntlet and made the perfect world. Literally made the perfect world. The resources were infinite. There was no crime. There were no villains, nothing. It was the perfect, like, peaceful world. And people hated on him for it. Fast forward through that, Galactus invades during the Ultimates arc. I forgot what that arc was called, but Galactus invaded. And this was 616 Galactus. He's beating everybody up. They call the Maker. The Maker BFRs him. And then Thor dies as a result, which was a necessary sacrifice. All of a sudden, he's the bad guy. Maker pulls up, and Lifebringer Galactus and Multi-Eternity and all this crazy stuff is going on. They're about to destroy creation. Who wants to stop them? Maker. Who gets snitched on by High Evolutionary because High Evolutionary is a bitch-ass snitch? Maker. So, to me, Maker is a hero. Not to mention, he stopped the Cancerverse. So, I don't know. Like, I don't see how Maker is in action. Like, his end game is very, like, I don't know. It's hard to argue that his end game is villainy. The way he goes about it, sure, I guess. But it's all necessary for the end game.
I guess
this guy's spamming Kingpin versus Nightwing in the chat.
I know, goddamn. I think that also leads to like the next topic, which is what if the Maker was in DC?
I mean, they already have like kind of like Maker characters in DC. It's like he's kind of like just he's like Owlman. Like Owlman was kind of like on that stuff. Pariah was kind of on that stuff. Like, but Pariah got manipulated by the Great Darkness in Dark Crisis. Dr. Manhattan type stuff. I think Maker is definitely smarter than a lot of DC characters. But I don't know because like every time a villain comes into DC, they always have the same issue. They like eventually like if you're big enough of a villain, you eventually run into Superman, and like every villain falls. Like every villain fails before Superman. So it's like I don't know. At that point, he'd have to like run into Brainiac, then he'd have to run into Lex. Like he'd have to outsmart a lot of people. If he joined forces with him, sure, I think that would be pretty. That would be pretty OD. I think Maker would beat the shit out of Perpetua. I think he'd like solve her puzzle real quick. And I think he'd be prepared to like. I think Maker would be prepared to like go to any extent to get rid of Perpetua, just as he would with any villain. So another thing too is that DC is filled with a lot of villains that are not necessary. Like Galactus is necessary in Marvel, and you could look at him as a villain. Some people don't. Like some people look at him as a natural force or neutral force. But Darkseid isn't necessary in DC. So Maker would like figure that out and be like, yeah, you're not necessary. I don't need you bothering me. So just like erase him or some shit. So or send him to his tomb again. I don't know.
That'd be tricky. Not sure. I think Maker would eventually, good or bad wise, I think he would be like I think he'd end up in his like own world and would try to make like his own, get his own shit going. If he were to like end up on Earth, that's a completely different issue. I definitely think he'd cook someone like Lex and stuff like that. He'd be successful depending on who he decides to go to war with and what about. That makes sense. Like, what's he gonna like want? Yeah, I agree about Perpetua. I think he'd look at Perpetua and be like, "We gotta get this bitch out of here." That's like that's a loss for all of us. Like, we gotta do that. I'd just be curious, like Barbados. How do you think he does with that scenario?
The problem with Barbados is that now we're talking about characters that like see, it's not so much Barbados. Barbados as a character, he folds Barbados. Like his prep time would fold Barbados. It's what Barbados is enabling, which is the Dark Multiverse. The Dark Multiverse itself would be an issue for Maker because that's something that like eats away at stories and narratives, and like those are things that like Maker at his peak needed a lot of prep. Like when he was talking about Lifebringer Galactus and the concepts and the things that stand above the stories and all this stuff, like, you know, you're going beyond like the House of Ideas with things like that. So it's like at that point, Maker needed like to be at his peak for that. So I don't know, like, because there's things that scale above the Dark Multiverse at that point, even in it. So it's like Barbados, sure, but like the Dark Multiverse, that's rough. Like the Batman Who Laughs versus Maker is rough because the Batman Who Laughs is like really smart.
Yeah, that'd be a crazy matchup. Actually, maybe one I consider in the future. But that might get pretty shiesty. Now for the next question, let's see. Let me check. The next topic, rather, is this is one of GB's and his last proposed one. Should mangas focus more on cosmology than character development? What did you mean by that, GB?
Simply put, like Dragon Ball's existed for a very long time. Doesn't have the cosmology to scale into like Marvel. Like if you're using power scaling, which is what Dragon Ball got popular off of in the power scaling community, essentially. If you're using power scaling, Dragon Ball can't be like Goku can't be Captain America if you're using power scaling, and that's because Dragon Ball doesn't focus on their cosmology. If you're like they kind of do, but they half-ass it, so it sucks. And then you have verses like One Piece, which, yeah, they have world building, but you have to differentiate world building from cosmology and like setting up power levels and structures of like how strong characters are and things like that. One Piece doesn't even focus on that at all. Like One Piece they just do things, and it's like, oh, okay, is that multiplanetary because of how big the planet is? Is that like a star level feat? Like it sucks. Like how are you 1,000+ chapters into your series? And we're still talking about like solar system level attacks. Like that's crazy. And I get that that doesn't have to be the focus for every series. But if your series involves a lot of combat, if your series involves a lot of superpowers and a lot of the functions of such things, then like at some point you have to. Where's the cool shit? You know what I'm saying? Like where's the cool shit? I don't know. Like it's I feel like they. Like some guys from like some manga writers like try to tackle it. Like One Punch Man right now. One Punch Man, a lot of people, you know, it's always two drastics. Either people really love it or people really hate it. But One Punch Man, regardless of what you say, they focus on their cosmology and their character development. You have great side characters and you have great power development and power creeping in the series. A lot of people feel power creeping is bad, but That's what power scaling is really about. And Saitama is just always getting stronger, and it's because of the world around him, the cosmology. So I don't know. I feel like more manga writers should focus on their cosmology more, rather than just like, hey, like this is the story of this character, and he's gonna, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we get what the character is after chapter 100. We get what the character is. Like, we're good.
I get where you're coming from. I do think some mangas kind of screw themselves on how they approach the structure of the cosmology, the vagueness of the cosmology. Naruto absolutely suffers from a vague cosmology. Yu Yu was pretty good about theirs.
Yeah, Yu Yu is fine.
Bleach's was fine, although there is proof they could have done a lot more to solidify it and just hammer shit down, because there's so much controversy around the scaling. I don't think they would have to sacrifice the sake of the story even to do that successfully, though. Genuinely.
Yeah. No, I don't think a lot of the series that come out, in particular, like Dragon Ball or Naruto, I feel like Boruto, from what I hear, is doing a better job of like their cosmology and shit. It's just that it's like making characters from the past much stronger than they are, or than they were thought to be, or so, I don't know, it's something like that. I keep hearing things like that, but like, regardless, Dragon Ball has the tools to make Goku like high outer, or make him like definitively strong. It's just that they don't use those tools, or instead of just not even using them, they just contradict them, which is like annoying. And it's just it gets to a point where this is purely just from a power scaling perspective. Um, your show is about fighting. Your show is about power. You have to do something that supplements that. You have to build things that supplement that. You can't just, why is Goku like fighting Moro, and Moro's like, I'm gonna inflate my power to its maximum and destroy the galaxy? Moro should be like, his max power should be blowing up a multiverse or something at this point. Like, it's crazy. Like, what is going on here? Like, how is this a galaxy level attack? Like, I don't know. It's just dumb. Like, it's really just dumb at this point. Like, I just don't understand it. And I guess I get that writers don't think about these things when they're writing, but comic writers sure do. Comic writers go out of their way to like establish that this is a multiversal threat. This character can blink away a multiverse in a second. These characters collided and they shattered a dimension when their punches collided. Things like that. So I don't know. I feel like certain writers in manga need to really step it up. And utilize the tools that they have, rather than just ignoring them or contradicting them.
Yeah, I get it. And it's funny because even without coming from a power scaling perspective, it would still help the story. And that's the bottom line. And moving on to the final topic of the podcast. Shout out to everyone tuned in. We have character. This is my last proposed topic. What are some characters you either plotted on or still plot on, and you want to see them get murked in a series? They annoy the shit out of you. And you want them gone.
Characters that I want gone? I don't know, because I really just don't even be reading. Like, if I don't like a character, I just don't read whatever they're in. Like, I don't really care. That's hard to think.
I thought they should have
That's like
killed
real
Mike
hater
Guy.
shit. I don't know.
No,
Honestly,
Mike,
Naruto. Like, I'm
Mike
so
Guy.
sick of the Naruto verse.
But Mike Guy, he I was plotting on Pain. I wanted him done.
Whatever character needs to die for Boruto to finish and people to stop arguing about like comics or mangas, whatever needs that to be a thing, make it happen in Naruto. Because I'm so sick of debate videos coming up like, oh my god, could Pain beat this character? Motherfuckers talking about some shit that like ended like 10, 13 years ago. Your series was made. The shit ended on one of the most anticlimactic battles in anime manga history. And people are still talking about like the dumbest shit. Like the battles are crazy. Like Gaara versus like this version of this guy. Like I don't care, bro. Why do you still care? Does 1930s Batman beat 1930s there? Like who? Human Torch? Like who cares? Shit's corny. Like that shit aggravates me like to no end. It's like why are people talking about this? Like there's
That
tons
shit
of new
gets
series
used.
out. There's tons of new characters out there. All kinds of. There's just better shows, like objectively better shows than Naruto out there, and people still be on like that Shippuden, Ninja War, or whatever the fuck, like whatever the hell they're talking about type shit. It's crazy. It's like, bro, that shit it's dead. It's done. Story's over. Like, move on. Like, damn. And most of the scaling is like so straightforward. It's literally just semantic debates at that point. It's just dumb. It's like people just, if you look into Daijenshu, like, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't want to hear this shit.
He said that, didn't you? Oh man. I wanted Hoken to die after he slid on all my favorite characters. Motherfucker was killing everybody, bro.
Yeah, but they deserve to get slid on though, so.
I would.
That's where you gotta factor that in, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. He said check the Cash App. Let me check. Thunderbolt. Something about Thunderbolt Ross. Hold on, I'm reading it. Let's see.
Not Thunderbolt Ross. Red Hulk?
Oh.
Red Hulk
Thunderbolt
scaling?
Ross and Amanda Wallace or Waller. He'd want both folded. He just wanted this shit shouted out. Shout out to John Skullcap.
Oh.
I can see that. Amanda be doing wild shit. Oh, Captain Marvel.
Y'all really hating on the government?
Yo, Shield? Do we need to get rid of Shield? Let's talk about it. Are they fascist?
It says Shield.
Let's talk about it.
I don't know. Shield? God, Shield is such a... Get rid of Shield because it's boring. Like, I don't care what they're doing. Like, they're just boring, bro. Shield is, like, actually, like, one of the most boring storylines you could read in comics.
I get it. I get it. The Shield hate's real. The love is fake. But anyways, guys, that's it for this episode of the Jobbers and Goons / Dr. Goons podcast and show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to my boy GB for co-hosting today. And we will see y'all later. Peace.
Yeah.